Massachusetts is recognized.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the gentlelady from Minnesota for yielding me the customary 30 minutes, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I want to begin today with a story. Once upon a time in Congress, House Republicans put forward their top agenda, a package of bills so crucial, so urgent, that teeing them up for consideration was one of the very first things we did on the floor of this Congress, after, of course, Kevin McCarthy's 15 votes for Speaker. And tucked into this package was a little bill about supporting the police, House Continuing Resolution 5. A simple, non-binding resolution, really. It didn't do much. It was purely symbolic, but it did express support for our nation's police, all our nation's police. But something mysterious happened, Mr. Speaker, and I hope you will join me in trying to solve that mystery today. Because instead of bringing their bill up right away, Republicans waited, and they waited, and they waited, and they waited until this week. And they brought up a bill, but something changed. See, in the original bill, the language read that Congress expresses support for the nation's law enforcement agencies. And as you can see, Mr. Speaker, nations, it was about all our police. But in their new bill, the one that we're considering today, they only express support for local enforcement officers. And here's the new bill, Mr. Speaker, and we see the word local, nothing about our nation's law enforcement officers, just local. That's weird. What a strange change. It's National Police Week, but they took out all of our national police agencies. Democrats searched and searched and searched for a reason. We looked high and low in the Rules Committee, but we couldn't find an answer. Not a single person, not one Republican, Mr. Speaker, has been able to articulate to us who made that change, or when it was made, or most importantly, why it was made. No one was able to explain to us why Republicans edited their bill from saying any efforts to defund or dismantle law enforcement agencies to any efforts to defund or dismantle local law enforcement agencies. And here's the important thing, and call it the moral of the story, if you will. The change was not without consequence, because what the GOP did was cut out every officer at the FBI, the ATF, CBP, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, the Federal Protective Service, and the Secret Service. And they cut out every officer at the United States Capitol Police. They cut out the police who are standing outside these chamber doors right now, keeping us safe. And they cut out all the police who rushed to this building to keep all of my GOP friends safe on January 6, 2021. Apparently, our Republican colleagues think National Police Week shouldn't include our national police. And I wish I could say that this was an unsolved mystery. I really do. But the answer is obvious, Mr. Speaker. The new Republican position is that they only support some police. The new Republican position as of 2 weeks ago is that they wanted to fund police. They voted to cut cops grants, fire 400 local police officers, defund the FBI, and cut grant funding for state and local law enforcement agencies. The new Republican position, as put forward by their frontrunner for president, is that we ought to pardon the convicted criminals, white supremacists, and neo-Nazis who beat cops, crushed them indoors, and hit them with fire extinguishers on January 6th. And the new Republican position is to give George Santos due process before he's kicked out, but to deport legal immigrants who haven't even been charged with a crime. So here's what I see today, Mr. Speaker. It seems like Republicans backed the blue until they realized that laws apply to them too. And that gets me to my final point. because an important change is happening here today, and I want law enforcement officers across this country to take note. I know many of them are watching because it's Police Week, National Police Week, and here's what I want them to know. Democrats want to keep communities safe. Democrats want to address gun violence in our schools, an issue I hear from police officers about all the time. Democrats want to invest in programs that keep our communities safe, programs that get to the root causes of crime. Democrats want to make sure police aren't put in situations they aren't trained to handle. Democrats have passed bills that protect our communities and support our police, bills to help cops with PTSD and to invest in small police departments. And Republicans want to wrap their arms around the police while they cut funding. And make sure we don't forget this, Mr. Speaker. 21 Republicans voted against awarding the Congressional Gold Medal to the Capitol Police. 21. Republicans changed their bill to deliberately exclude America's national police agencies from National Police Week, which dishonors and disrespects the Capitol Police officers who protect our Capitol building. And Republicans are using our law enforcement officers like political pawns. They're putting politics over public safety. It is clear, Mr. Speaker, that my Republican friends have lost their way on law enforcement today. And it's clear who's in charge. It's not Speaker McCarthy. It's the most extreme of the extreme. And once again, the American people lose. With that, I reserve my time.
Massachusetts reserves.